Good evening.
And welcome
to the Hystorians Podcast. Hi, Des.
Hi, Liz.
It's spooky season, and I love spooky season, even though it's August right now. But shh, they don't have to know that.
As soon as it hits August 1st, it's spooky season in this house. It's for my mental health.
And boy, do we need that.
Boy, we sure need that.
I love spooky season, and I just love October. And I think that I've always loved October. My dad loves Halloween, so he was that type of dad that would just like be, all right, what do you want to be for Halloween, dude? And I'd be like, I'm feeling like maybe a werewolf, or maybe like a werewitch, or like a zombie. And he'd be like, sounds primo, let's go. And he would take us to a costume shop, and like he would help. My mom, of course, would help as well. She supported us in everything. And I remember making like little werewolf paws out of like winter mittens and stuff.
Yeah.
It was adorable. Love. Anyway.
To me, it's the ambiance. I love the feeling of the thinning of the veil. I love the colors being very saturated and deep and jewel toned.
Yes.
And like, I love that. To me, I love that it's a season that comes with its own ambiance.
Truly.
Like right now, tonight, it's actually thundering.
Yes.
So we have the perfect setup. We have all these gorgeous, my little glass pumpkin patch. That's my fall obsession every year. It's
yes.
all lit up tonight.
And I'm an enabler through and through. I literally looked at Desi a couple weeks ago and I was like, home goods, maybe? Maybe pretty please?
This bitch has never told me no about a glass pumpkin, and I appreciate that. Because if you saw the sheer amount that I had, you would say I have a problem.
I think you might post a picture or something of the pumpkin patch, because it is now officially a pumpkin patch.
Yeah, we bought a lot this year, and it's really filled it out.
Yes. We have adult money from working full-time jobs. Barely. All right. Desi, this week I gave you a prompt, but it's not very October or Halloween-esque.
It was kind of left field, yeah.
How about you hit us with it?
You gave me, for my prompt, it's almanac/printing press culture in the early colonies. And, specifically American colonies, but that's all that came up anyway with the search. And, I was honestly very impressed with the quality of sources that came through with this. Some of the top ones that I got were the American Antiquarian Society. A lot of universities popped up, some articles on JSTOR.
Oh, yes.
I was very impressed with the quality of sources. It was a very niche topic, so maybe that's why.
Well, it's also a very fascinating topic. If you're ever interested in propaganda and the history of propaganda, or like underground publications or magazines or zines, even like these are the grandfather or to the great grandfather of zines.
Yeah.
And I definitely recommend anyone like just dive right into it. It's really fun. And also drama.
I could see the work. I didn't specifically read about any drama, but I could see how this could set one up perfectly for drama. So looking at the printing press in general, the first one was in Massachusetts in 1638 for the colonies.
Yep.
So, I wasn't surprised to hear that, it was in Harvard. So that just sounds like it makes sense.
Yeah, it's a logical conclusion, I would say, yeah.
Yeah, and these were usually used for things like almanacs, sermons, proclamations, obituaries, histories, air quotations, like narratives around histories, or a lot of religious Puritan culture wrapped up in this. And when you think of printing presses, I think of like newspapers, but they didn't actually come into play until around the 1700s.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was just an interesting fact.
They were literally booklets, even bound sometimes, but like they were booklets that you could buy sporadically. It's whatever was being sold or whatever you knew was being printed.
Yeah.
If you heard about a topic that you were interested in, it's like JSTOR. It's like,
right.
Oh, I heard about this article. I'm gonna go and I'm going to go spend £2. That would be outrageous, but still.
It was to me, it still looks like a very labor intensive process.
Yes.
So, while it did make things easier, it didn't make things as easy as it is today. But, it did play an important part in the spread of information. Like,
Yep.
Nowadays we have it at our fingertips, but,
Yes.
back then this was as close as you could get to that. And so information could spread quicker and wider than it could before. So, that's one of the major advantages of it. And then looking at like almanacs specifically, this would be like an annual publication and it would have all sorts of things in it. When I think of an almanac, I think of like a calendar of when to like plant seeds, but really they were more. They had little tidbits in them, like recipes. They could be funny, have random resources on like medicine. And, it was so much more than just a calendar.
Yeah.
So they were really handy little books to have. And that would be one of the publications, that would be available. And there were different versions of it too. Everybody had their different version of an almanac.
Oh, yes. That will be coming up.
Oh, dear. See, what I thought was most interesting about all of this together is that, like I said, I can see a flow chart of where this could lead into some drama.
And that's the thing. I'm sorry to sprinkle this on you. This is a side character.
Oh, and see, that's okay.
This is just good information for someone, but I want to tell you that many of my thoughts and possible future subjects are going to include this.
Yep. Well, if you think about it, it's ingrained in American culture, this idea, the First Amendment, free speech, freedom of the press.
Freedom of the press.
Yep. So I think it's something that just kind of is an undertone that probably will follow us throughout.
Yes. I wanted to say that although sometimes because again, the Publishing Act, or Licensing Act, oh my goodness, that we covered in Lord Cornbury comes up too. So some of these printing or publishers were illegal too, like underground. And so that's how the revolution could get information out and everything through these printing presses. It's so interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited. I want to know what this plays into. I will leave it at that because I got to know what the Queen of Halloween has chosen for her Halloween episode.
Desiree, can I have you turn out that light from behind you?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Now picture it. New Jersey. Time period is not important right now. Experiences have been consistent about this situation throughout America, from its infancy to its preteenhood that we are in now. Imagine a place supposedly barren, filled with sandy soil that refuses to produce enough crops to justify anyone from staying there. But there are people that have stayed there, and those people have the wonderful name and have adopted it, but it was a derogatory name of Piney. This is the Pine Barrens. You're walking through an especially dense part of the Barrens. It is daylight, but dark within this area that you find yourself in. Do you remember which way you came? Where's the trail? Oh, look, that's a wonderful ruins of a house. You hear surroundings and you hear a rustle. Somewhere ahead. Hopefully it was a bunny or a bird. But then you notice there were no birds chirping. Not anymore. No sounds really at all anymore. It is now eerily quiet. Suddenly you hear the flapping of wings. Leathery wings, but you cannot see anything and cannot pinpoint where that movement is coming from. Hopefully it is not your time yet. Then you are enveloped again, but not by the sound of wings. Instead, it was...
What the fuck?
You just encountered the Jersey Devil.
What the hell? the Jersey Devil.
Hey,
yo, you walking in the woods, man? What you doing out here?
Get your weird looking dog out of here, dude. So, this is the Hystorians episode 9, the history, the folklore of the Jersey Devil. So, what is the Jersey Devil? It supposedly has a long, emaciated head of a horse, short, curled horns of a ram, long back with hooves and short front legs with paws nearly opposable thumb-like, large, leathery bat wings. That's always one that comes up, is the large, leathery bat wings.
Jeez.
The Jersey Devil is well known in folklore and as a very prominent figure as a folklore cryptid. And his location is in the Pine Barrens, which is a region that can be traced back at least 300 years. It's a very interesting area of New Jersey where it sounds really pretty to me.
It sounds beautiful, the Pine Barrens. It's like, oh, let's go vacationing at the Pine Barrens.
Yes, and then you get there and it's sandy soil and just pines surrounding you, and I'm like, honestly, that sounds delicious.
Take me to Forks. No, I'm just kidding. Like, it sounds like
you get Edward out of here. Edward is not invited to the Jersey Devil TikTok.
No vampires in the Halloween episode?
No.
And I'm the bad guy?
I ask you, don't bring vampires up once in a conversation, and you never do it.
It's a promise I can't keep.
This is the skin of a killer, Bella. So, the area is dense pines. It doesn't produce much, but it also has very interesting flora and fauna. The flora is a lot of, like, killer plants.
Oh,
and
great.
Like a lot of
a very welcoming environment.
Truly, but
you definitely want to take your toddler there on vacation.
This is the place for us to go. People shouldn't take their toddlers. Then we don't have to deal with somebody's toddler.
This one's for the witches, okay? Let us have the Pine Barrens.
Please, let us have the Pine Barrens. So there are a lot of stories spanning this time and leading up to what we know currently as the Jersey Devil. See, that's really pretty.
That's beautiful.
That's beautiful. I love it.
To our listeners who are just listening and not watching, it's a gorgeous little fall, like, brook, like a little...
And I got this from New Jersey, like, the website for New Jersey what's that? Environmental and stuff. Anyway, department.
Yeah.
Parks department as well. But, so... The local natives of that area were the Lenni Lenape. So the Lenni Lenape originally called the area Drake Kill, which translates as Dragon Kill. Drake is usually referenced as dragon throughout a lot of languages. And it's also sometimes called like the place of the dragon. So in this tribe, or the nation, there was a deity almost, and it was one of the only deities that they would try to represent like in dance or like in ceremonies. Usually it was like, no, we don't try to put ourselves in that position of representing a god. We are not the gods, and that's how you anger some gods.
That's how you get into a lot of trouble historically.
Yes. You know what? You just don't want to touch on that.
Yeah, you want to venture to fail, you say you're better than the gods.
Oh, Lord, have mercy on your soul. So, oral traditions mentioned a strange creature in the Pine Barrens, and it existed prior to the colonists' appearance. Comparisons between the Jersey Devil and this deity that was called a missing, Mising. So, to the Lenni Lenape, the missing was a protector deity who had to be worshipped to prevent natural calamities such as storms, earthquakes, and its functions also worked well with like a little warning to children. So there was also talk of a similar tradition by the Delaware, and it was that if a child misbehaved.
Yes!
Thank you!
Thunder! This is the perfect ambiance.
Really is. It is. That if a child misbehaved or was sick, the family summoned the missing, like as an interpersonator. Like it's to be a figure to commune through.
Okay.
For a visit, meaning like they would call somebody to represent the missing.
Yeah. To act as a vessel?
Yes, essentially, yes. And so they would also have like, it was referenced as a quote unquote costume, but it's like traditional garb.
Yeah.
And it would be like looking hairy, like a lot of beastly like hair.
Ooh.
A creature walking on its hind legs, so it's good for a bipedal human.
Yeah.
To represent. And then there are ritual costumes for it. Virtually the only god that the Delaware attempted to impersonate, the missing represented the only strange creature fashioned by the native tribes and
that was right beside us.
That was. Okay, the native nations. And the early white settlers might have seen like them representing this god as like a creature from the woods or something. So white settlers could have been like, they're worshiping a beast, and it's like, no, it's actually,
it could be easily misinterpreted to the Puritan white mind.
And of course the rituals by the white settlers would also be referenced a lot of times by devil dance.
Oh great.
Yeah. So Jersey devil.
Yeah. It's all coming together.
So there are a lot of folklore tales of what we now know as the Jersey Devil and how it came to be. And this is where I just like, delicious. I love these types of things where it's like, I just want to hear all of the possible ones and I want to see the common threads.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times if you link those common threads, look at what's happening historically, you get not a clearer picture, but a little bit of a better picture of what might have caused these things.
Yeah.
So in the 1740s, there was a brave clergyman who exorcised the Jersey Devil with a bell, a book, and a candle. Hello, witchcraft, anyone?
Yeah, wait a minute.
Hey now.
This is what dreams are made of. I know this.
It was supposed to last for a whole 100 years. South Jerseyites were particularly uneasy in 1840. Their ancestors having warned them.
It says here on my almanac that the Jersey Devil's supposed to get off his parole, and
do you think that the parole board would let us know or something?
You think they're gonna send out a proclamation on this?
I was wondering why on my granddaddy's calendar, why it said beware on this.
I mean, that's pretty vague.
I know, and I was like, beware what? And so I'm hoping it's that.
Yeah. I think so.
So there was also a story from 1778. A lonely Leeds Point girl fell in love with a British soldier. The townsfolk said that the girl was cursed for such a treasonous act during a time of revolt and rebellion.
Loving a man, that is a curse. I get it. Amen. Ew,
especially
men.
A British man. Hey, yo.
Yikes.
And in turn, she gave birth to the Leeds Devil, which is also a name for the Jersey Devil.
So it's like a part of the lore is that this was born of a human.
Yes.
Okay.
It could also be that the Jersey Devil was a punishment for a family of the area named Leeds, and Leeds Point was named after them. That a clergyman was mistreated by Leeds, and he foretold the devil's birth in retribution. Some believe also a little bit of a lesser known story, but it does come up quite a bit, but it's not as fantastical, is that in like 1830 a man obtained a mask to put on for his children for Halloween, like to entertain his children and the townsfolk children, and then it just grew from there. Like a tale was told, and then it just
just kind of got out of control.
Yep. And then one rendition is that the devil's origin is associated with a curse. Around 1850, a young South Jersey girl was passing by a traveler and was frightened when he had asked and requested food from her. Because of her refusal, she was cursed. The whole episode had been forgotten until the birth of her first child, which turned out to be the Jersey Devil. So the most popular and well-accepted myth, and this is when we get into the history.
No, I'm very excited. I've heard of the Jersey Devil, but I don't know the story.
Yeah. So the most popular and well-accepted myth is the myth of Mother Leeds and the birth of the Jersey Devil. In 1735, a pregnant woman named Mother Leeds cursed her soon-to-be born 13th child as a devil. Apparently, she had found out that she was pregnant yet again, and she said, "May this one be the devil."
Oh, I mean, 13 kids. 13 fucking kids.
It's kind of like, are you serious?
This ain't the Duggars. Not everybody's wanting this. It just happens. Like...
Yeah, and it's just... I'm sorry, I'm flabbergasted at the thought of 13 children. What is confirmed, she had at least 12 in real life.
Yeah. I mean, there's also, too, that mysticism around the number 13.
Exactly. Yep. So legend has it that the baby was born on a dark and stormy night.
Much like the one now.
And he was born, and she kept saying, "May this one be of the devil." She was just over it, and I'm like,
maybe my husband will stay off me if I give birth to the Antichrist.
Maybe. Could it hurt to try? They won't let us have contraception, so might as well threaten the devil.
Running out of ideas.
So, as soon as the child was born, he looked like any other child. Precious little face, baby face. I think newborns look like potatoes, but
little aliens.
Little aliens, and I think that they might have just been describing a regular newborn when they said that immediately his head stretched into the semblance of a goat, and its hands, its feet turned into hooves, bat-like wings sprang from its sides, and a bobbed tail grew as the horrified parents watched. He then mauled the midwives and then scurried up the...
Courtesy of Desi's nails, the scurrying.
He then scurried up the chimney with a blood-curdling scream and flew off into the Pine Barrens, where he would make his home for the next millennia.
Dun, dun, dun.
And there are sometimes sayings that, that the myth continues, and it says that Mother Leeds would be plagued for the next couple of years, seeing her 13th child perched on her fence.
I was gonna say, the real devil is a man that sticks around after it's time to fly the coop. You know what I mean?
He's still living in his mama's fields.
It's the man in the basement, but it's a bird child, kind of, with the wings, so he's on his mom's fence. Are you gonna do my laundry? What's for dinner?
Oh, if the roles were reversed. Honestly, Mother Leeds needed this as her release.
Yeah.
Release your inhibitions,
Truly,
the Jersey
girl.
Devil.
Yeah.
So, Leeds. That's the family, right?
Right.
The family of Leeds Point.
Yeah.
So, they're an actual family. And they still have children or not children, but descendants.
Right. They went on to produce.
Yeah. And it's really fun because during this research, like, one of the descendants has a whole thing of his family's connections to the Jersey Devil, and they like sometimes refer to him as like their long lost cousin.
Gosh, I bet you wish you were in that family.
Truly, I would be like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Oh yeah, my cousin Jersey DeVille. Leeds.
Yeah, he's just living his best life, honestly. You know, every now and then I wish I could live that life, just let out a soul screech and then
descend into the woods, you know,
with my leathery bat wings.
Maybe when we're in our 80s.
You know, I'm already working on my little bat wings.
My bingo wings.
I'm not even a teacher, and
don't give up the ghost yet. There's still hope for us. If I grow out my toenails and get some bingo wings, I'll be gripping a fence just as good as him in no time.
Stop. The real Jersey Devil, Desiree McChesney.
The Pennsylvania Devil.
The titty you devil.
It's like the Jersey Devil, only it's got bingo wings and needs a pedicure. If you're from Pennsylvania, you get it.
Pennsylvania and Midwest.
And that's on an aging population.
So Daniel Leeds, he was a real man. Or not like, oh, he's a real man.
I'm a real man.
Yes. From his behavior, you'll see.
Oh, dear God.
So he was a Quaker who moved from Kent, England to the colonies in like the mid 1600s. He published his first almanac in 1687. So like 50 years after the first printing press, or like the almanac and stuff. Almanac.
Almanac who? Almanac how?
When I say Alma, you say neck. Alma.
Neck.
Alma.
Neck.
Anyway. His almanac addressed the reader personally and provided news of religious and community groups, the fairs, upcoming fairs, courts, or court cases, what's gonna be on the docket, accounts, and as well as a verse like scattered throughout.
Yeah.
So fellow Quakers deemed the almanacs too pagan because
Jesus Christ, people, like you take their holidays, you take their gods, you take their literature for the toilet.
They're not ready to hear that. The Quakers aren't ready to hear that.
Like, he put some verses in it, man.
So, no, here. They deemed it too pagan because it used terms like March, referring to the Roman god of war, instead of the month's ordained number in plain language. So, like, the third month of the year, March.
What are we supposed to do? Just number them?
Yes.
Like Roman numeral, month 1.
Yes.
Month 2.
Welcome to the Quakers.
Quaker? I hardly know her, apparently.
He ain't quaking anything for her.
No.
Hey, yo. So, even though Daniel Leeds made a public apology for some of the...
He got canceled!
He did.
Apology video. Hey guys, so my almanac, I had no idea.
I truly didn't even know that March was like referring to like Mars or anything. Like, I had no clue. And you know what? That's on my ignorance to the topic. No tears or anything.
I'm so sorry.
So, So even though Daniel Leeds made a public apology for some elements in the almanac, the almanacs were censored and destroyed by the local Quaker community. Well, that pissed him off.
Yeah.
Quakers labeled him as evil and Satan's harbinger. Leeds abandoned the Quakers, and then he joined the Anglican Church, and he was resolute to continue his writing and publishing and just providing information. And I mean, tip my hat to him.
Yeah.
So he kept writing and publishing his almanacs, and then he also published like a book that satirized the Quakers as well. So he essentially went salt earth, burn it all.
Yeah.
And then so after he converted to the Anglican Church, he started publishing anti-Quaker tracts and fiercely criticized Quaker theology and accused the Quakers of being anti-monarchists, which they were. It's like, where's an accusation when
it's true?
It's true. I also want to point out that on his almanac, now this is his son's rendition of the almanac, so it has their family crest on it.
Oh, cool.
Those are wyverns,
right?
They're dragon-like,
right?
They have leathery wings,
right?
They have horns, a pitched tail, and look slightly devilish.
We're not helping ourselves here, are we?
No. So during this time as well, I want to touch back on that anti-monarchist accusation he threw the Quakers. That's part of the reason the Quakers didn't like him, was because he was a monarchist, and they were like, hey,
they were waiting for something. It popped up and they were like, there it is.
But also it's like, hey, we're Quakers. We don't really do that.
Yeah.
And it was mainly because of his support of a politician in the area. Laura Cornberry, what you doing here?
What are you doing here?
Cornberry, what are
Oh my gosh, it's such a pleasure to see you again.
Hey, girl. So yeah, remember, he was the first governor of New Jersey.
Yeah.
So the support for him caused Daniel Leeds to like fall out, and the whole his sons also to fall out from the Quakers.
History is such a web. I love how everything's interconnected.
Fully. So you are so correct by saying history is an interconnected web. Because what's up there?
Benjamin Franklin. Well, he did Poor Richard's Almanac, right?
Yes, he did.
So, yeah.
So, enter Ben Franklin. How does Ben Franklin have connections to the Jersey Devil?
How did B Money get here?
I don't know, but we will figure it out. No, it's hilarious how interconnected this is, and I think that a lot of my topics have shown my interest in, okay, something fantastical happened. I want to see what's actually happening in the culture, and what is happening socially and politically at that time, to try and explain why this trend or something would happen. So a young printing upstart, Benjamin Franklin. So Benjamin Franklin was a young printing upstart, and he was printing 2 almanacs. He was getting his feet under him, and then he lost those 2 almanacs to rival printers.
Oh.
And so he decided, and I believe Leeds might have been one of the printers. Have to double check that though.
Yeah.
I'll put something in the YouTube video saying
if we figured it out,
this is the correct thing. So he was a little miffed at that and a little pissed, but also he was scared shitless, because for a printer, your almanac is your moneymaker. You're guaranteed chunk of change for the year because
everyone needs a calendar.
Always will buy it. And they will always, when they find a favorite, they're loyal to that favorite one.
Yeah.
So, just lost 2 of them.
Like we're a Chelsea Lynn calendar people. We get that trailer trash Tammy.
Amen. I also have gotten men in kilts.
Kilty pleasures.
Kilty pleasures. Amen. Benjamin Franklin was a little angry, and the thing with Benjamin Franklin is that he was petty through and through.
Yeah.
And I respect that.
I do too.
And so he was like, well, I just lost these 2 almanacs, so I'm going to start printing my own. So he started Poor Richard's Almanac. And in one of his first almanacs, he decided he was going to predict the date of his rival's death.
I love it. I love.
It's just love. It's amazing. It's hilarious.
And psychological warfare, bitch. That is
his rival at the time was Titan Leeds.
Oh my gosh. So he's predicting his son's the son of the original Leeds guy's death.
So he said that the date would be October 17, 1733 at 3:29 p.m.
That's so specific.
Titan was not amused.
Really? I think it's funny. I think you should lighten up. Lighten up, Titan.
Titan Leeds. Lighten up, Titan. Titan Leeds responded about Franklin in his 1734 almanac as a false predictor. Remember, he is a religious man. And so it's like, you do not do prophecies. You do not predict things. He also was a conceited scribbler.
A what?
A fool and a liar.
And a liar.
Liar spelled Lyar. Lar. So Richard was stunned by all these rude rebuttals and such name-calling. He responded, having received such abuse from the ghost of Titan Leeds, who pretends to still be living and to write almanacs in spite of me and my predictions.
It's like I can still hear him. I'm not dead, bitch.
I cannot help but saying that who I take it patiently, I take it unkindly.
Ooh. It's like I can still hear him.
He also added that there was no doubt that Leeds had died, for it was plain to everyone who reads his last 2 almanacs, no man living would or could write such stuff.
I love it. Wasn't he like a ladies' man?
Yes, he was.
I can see why. I'd hang around this. I don't care how ugly he is. It's funny.
Bitches laugh. That's my only.
Yeah, he's bald and fat, and his face kind of looks like it's melting all the time.
He's funny. He makes a bitch laugh.
I would be feet kicking, giggling in my petticoats. You told him what? What now? Like he died. Oh, I love it. Oh, Benny, you're so funny.
I think we should take an air bath, and it's just you walking around naked. That he was a big fan of those.
I'm sure he was.
So, the Jersey Devil post Leeds. Okay, so that just shows like that connection of the Leeds family and Benjamin Franklin's connection to the Jersey Devil.
Yeah,
the Jersey Devil was supposedly Titan Leeds' brother.
Oh, okay. Because so Mother Leeds, had Titan Leeds. As
it
one
was
of the
either
children.
it was supposed to be his brother or his nephew, because Titan Leeds also had a brother named Japheth, and Japheth, I only know how to pronounce because I knew a Japheth in my childhood. I know.
That name sounds evil. I love it. It sounds sinister.
He was what he was. I I don't know. I don't remember him much.
Fair enough.
I just always was like, they named you what? Japheth? That's from the Bible? Huh.
Oh, I guess I didn't read that part.
But your other siblings has the name like Billy.
Like really normal, yeah.
Okay, cool. Anyway. The Jersey Devil post Leeds family. There was a sighting of a devil in Jersey by a naval commodore, Stephen Decatur. Allegedly, he's shot at a huge flying creature with a cannonball. Witnesses claimed that the cannonball had little to no effect on the creature, adding to the speculation that it was supernatural, just like that verb that just arrived into my being so quick and I did not expect it. The creature during this time was described more like a pterodactyl.
I've been thinking that. I'm like, why does it sound like a pterodactyl somehow survived and bred long enough to frighten these people? Yeah. That's what, to me, it sounds like.
So there's also a very interesting connection as well to some other European royalty, quote unquote. Mm-hmm. Joseph Bonaparte.
Oh.
So Joseph Bonaparte was the elder brother of Napoleon, and he reportedly had an encounter with the Jersey Devil in 1820.
The hell?
During his brief residence in Bordentown, New Jersey. He was hunting in the woods when he spotted the creature, and it was described as having a body of a kangaroo and head of a horse and wings like a bat, among other strange features. Joseph Bonaparte was reportedly too frightened to fire off a shot, even though he was out there with a rifle hunting.
What is that?
I mean, I guess it's like...
It sounds like a deformed Pegasus.
Fight or flight. Yeah, deformed Pegasus. Those aren't real either.
I'm spitballing here, okay?
Those aren't real either, honey.
They're not, but, how likely is it that the pterodactyl survived and reproduced that long? I don't know, man.
Have you seen crocodiles?
Yeah, that's fair.
So, it was debated whether his encounter even happened, and yet it is widely circulated in the folklore, and it's always, mentioned that, Joseph Bonaparte had an encounter with the Jersey Devil. So there was an uptick in sightings. So after the early 1800s, sightings kind of, if there were actual sightings before that as well, the sightings kind of petered out. So in 1909, there was an uptick. On January 15th, 1909, a winter storm battered the eastern seaboard of the United States. There were several inches of snow, and a man named Thack Cozzens, Thack spelled like Thackeray Banks.
Thackeray Banks.
You mangy kitten. He wobbled out of a saloon in Woodbury, New Jersey, and became aware that he was not alone. As he turned, whatever was following him rushed him and knocked him over. He said, "I heard a hissing and something white flew across the street. I saw 2 spots of fire like phosphorus, the eyes of a beast. There was a white, close, escaping steam from an engine. It moved as fast as an auto." I think he might have nearly got hit by an auto.
It sounds like he almost got hit by a car, dude.
Yeah, he was wandering out of
Maybe lay off the fucking ale. I don't know what to tell you.
Two phosphorus eyes. Headlights?
Yeah.
Steam coming from it, it was coming from an engine. It was coming from an engine.
Was he stuck on some train tracks or something?
Train tracks and trains do come up. So on the 16th, residents around Perth, Amboy, and all the way to DeFord, New Jersey, reported strange tracks laying in the freshly fallen snow. But some people followed these tracks.
I got nothing better to do.
And
no iPhones or shit, you know?
I know, right? It's like, what else are we going to do today? I mean, it's not even cold.
We had breakfast already. What are you supposed to do now?
Yeah. So the tracks looked like they were left by someone who could walk on 2 feet. So they were found in places that hooves should not be found, like roofs, or balancing on the ledge of a 3rd-story window, squeezing under wheelbarrows, or tracks that would just stop and disappear in the middle of a street or a field.
As if it were to fly.
Exactly. They called this creature the Flying Hoof, the Flying Death, the Jabberwock, the Jersey Bombat, the Mystery from Mars, the Woolly Bug, the Wumpus. Eventually they settled
Knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone.
Exactly. Bingo, bingo.
Yeah.
Eventually they settled on a name, and it was very on the nose. It was called the What Is It?
Wow, y'all are so good at naming things.
So there is a museum stunt that happened, and that's what you see on your screen right here. A museum heard about the claims and that there was a reward for proof of the Jersey Devil. Well, they took a kangaroo and painted on green stripes and made it look like it had some scales, and strapped wings to it, and then charged people a couple of cents to come and take a look at the genuine Jersey Devil.
That sounds about right for the time.
It's just a kangaroo.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the legend says it has short little arms, but like a big tail and a face like a horse.
Yeah, we had to stop once it started punching people.
Yeah. He started lifting things, and it got kind of crazy. And
now trying to fight the customers.
So now there's an actual Jersey Devil, like legit. It is a kangaroo with wings strapped to its sides. It's just hopping in the Pine Barrens now. So
yeah,
just let it hang out. But there is one story that hits a little close to our home as well.
Oh.
So I have a little surprise for you.
For me?
Yes, I had a little get together, a little interview of sorts. And so let's hear our story that hits a little too close to our home.
Ooh.
Hi, Desi.
Hi, Des.
It's Liz and Moriah. We just took a big old gulp of wine. And if I have presented this correctly, I have told you the folklore and the background of the Jersey Devil. And I hope I set this up right. Who knows if I did, but hey girl, I got you right here. Did you know that the Jersey Devil hits a little bit too close to home? And I have our friend here to tell us how it happened close to her home. We have a fellow nor'easterner.
Love it. Love it.
To tell you a wonderful tale. Moriah, welcome to the Hystorians Podcast.
Hi. Honored to be here. #blessed today. I fell earlier on the way here and dashed the heck out of my hand, but honestly, #blessed today.
You know, everything's about balance. You just sacrificed quite the skin of your palms.
You know what though? It's straight up. I hate to
something
say this,
big's coming your way.
I straight up. It's law of attraction though, because we talked about the thing that happened earlier, and then I got in that little tiff, and then law of attraction. I was in a bad mood. A bad thing happened.
Oh my shit! Connections. String theory. Who bitch?
Oh my gosh. It's like as soon as that happened, I was like, all right, I'm gonna accept this as like the universe correcting me, because it started to rain really bad while I was driving, and I was like, I'm gonna choose not to be upset about this right now.
And then when you by the time you got here,
and then it stopped raining. It stopped raining. So.
This is the Twilight Zone.
This is the Twilight Zone right now, but I'm in the best part of the Twilight Zone. I'm loving it right here. Anyway, yes, honored to be here. Happy to be here.
Happy to have you.
Happy to.
You are our first guest.
Yeah, I'm so excited about it. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
So special. So special.
Tell us about the Jersey Devil and the Pine Barrens, baby.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So this is not my story. This is my mother's story.
But you have also encountered a lot of like supernatural stuff.
I have also encountered a lot of supernatural
and you
stuff.
have like a nose for that.
Yes.
So I'm excited to hear this. You told it to me years ago, like when the first night,
6, 7 years.
When my niece was born.
Yes.
Literally the night my niece was born, Moriah and I became like friends for the first time.
Yeah.
And we were talking about, funnily enough, podcasts.
Yeah.
And we were talking about that type of stuff. I think it was around that same time.
So I was listening to like a scary story podcast, and they had like a call-in line. I called in and left the story, and the guy put it in the episode and was like, it seemed like super excited because I was like an avid listener of that podcast at the time. I want to say it's called Monsters Among Us. So I called into Monsters Among Us like very early in the show, and I called him and told my story, and he put it on. He would like at the end of the episode before the one I was on, I just remember him being like, we've finally done it, you guys. Next week we're gonna have a story about the Jersey Devil. And I was like, oh shit. I like immediately knew, and I was super excited about it, and the way he put it together was really cool, and I really liked it.
And I listened to that because I was like, I
remember,
hanging out with her, she was really cool, and I was like, oh shit, I kind of want to listen to this because I love podcasts. This is kind of weird. It's been like the synchronicity, that now we are recording a segment, but and then I listened to it and I was like, holy shit. And then you texted me the name of the podcast, and I almost looked up the episode to re-listen to it.
I re-listened to it because I was like, I want to hear how I told it before, because I remember being excited about it and like contemplating any like different details I might like try to remember or whatever. Okay, so my mother grew up on a farm. The farm that they owned had previously been owned by a coven of witches.
Love.
Right. My mother hated, but I love. Like, I don't.
Your mother hated so hard that that it came back.
That's right. Yeah, no. You turn into what you hate. So you create what you hate.
Create what you hate.
You create what you hate.
Except for you. You created literally the coolest thing ever.
I'm so glad you're saying that. She's such a good kid, isn't she?
She is. She's amazing.
She's the best. But so yeah, it had been previously owned by a coven of witches. So lots of supernatural things had happened there, and it was family land. So it was, her father had inherited it from his father. I'm only 2.5 generations born in America. So that might have been my family's original land. Like, they came to America from Ukraine with nothing, basically. I am sure they were fleeing. They were in Ukraine, but they were technically Romani. So they were definitely fleeing war. They came to America, they bought land, and it was a land that, like I said, had previously been owned by a coven of witches. Lord knows how long.
Yeah.
Like, who knows how long before that had been owned by a coven of witches. And they would like even go out to the fields.
Were they a coven or were they us?
I don't right
just
though.
Our dream of having a commune. And
seriously, why did we sell the commune?
Desi and I have this dream that, so everyone is like, oh my gosh, I want to do Golden Girls, and I'm like, yes. When we're older, we're going to have some land, hopefully. Who knows? And then once our friends' husbands begin to like drop a little bit, they're more than welcome to move to the commune. And if their husbands are still around and everything, they're more than welcome to come with, but they do have to run a gauntlet. And until they do drop, they are on probation. They only get one fuck up, and then they go to the tribunal.
Right, Jesus.
Thank you for being a friend. Whap!
You're too much. So
land was owned by witches.
So the land was owned by witches.
Or just having a good time.
Just having a good time. They would go out in the fields in the morning to till the fields, and they would find places that had been stomped down and used to like hold whatever ceremony before, like the Coven of Witches still used the land from time to time, I guess. And like I mean, yeah, like you're in a spiritual energy vortex. Of course, they were still going to like that's where they tapped in the best. I am not mad at them.
No.
But that said, a lot of supernatural things would happen. So when my mom was a child, I would have to get 60s. Yeah. Early 60s. They're out in the field. They're doing whatever they're doing. And the Jersey Devil was always like a thing they talked about, a thing they know, because they were farmers, but they were right up against the Pine Barrens. So they were in the Pineys. Yeah. They always knew, like it was always a thing. You had to go through the Pineys to get anywhere. You had to go through the Pineys to get to anything. It was, and I mean, my extended family still lives in that area. When I grew up, there was a lot of dense forest everywhere you went.
I've seen some pictures, and even now it's like, oh, it's really pretty.
It's really gorgeous, but it is.
It's kind of creepy too.
It's kind of creepy. So yeah, so it was just everywhere. And so they knew the story of the Jersey Devil, and they knew that like if you hear the Jersey Devil scream, you need to run.
It's like a banshee.
It's like a banshee.
You don't want to hear it.
You don't want to hear it. And if you hear it, you go in the opposite direction. It's coming from the east. I'm running to the freaking west. They said it sounded like the train, and there's no trains in the area. To this day, they don't have trains in that area. So they were like, if you hear the sound of the freight train coming through, you run.
I'm so sorry that I'm looking at you like this, but I've heard like recordings of what they have replicated at.
Oh yeah. It sounds like a freight train.
It sounds otherworldly. It sounds like a ghost train. Like
it sounds like a freight train. So chills, giving myself chills.
Like, oh
yeah, so giving myself chills over here. But yes, so they're out in the field one day, normal morning, evening, sun is either rising or setting, regardless.
Dusk
sun is
or
in
dawn.
that state. Sun is in that state, and they hear the train, and they all just kind of look up and sort of look and find each other, and someone yells run, and they run back to the house until they don't hear it anymore and they feel safe. But pretty quickly they realize, like my mom realizes, where's grandpa? Grandpa's not in the house. Where is he? And everyone's worried about him. When he gets back to the house, he is ghost white. They're like sitting him down. He's like stunned and in shock. They can't get him to talk for a while. They finally get him to talk. And they're like, what happened? What happened? Obviously, like asking him, is he okay? Like, what's going on? And he says, I saw the Jersey Devil. In their lore, you ran when you heard the scream, because if you see the Jersey Devil, you'll die 3 days later. It's so their version of the lore, because it differs.
Yep.
So their version of the lore was almost Mothman-y.
I was gonna say that sounds almost like Mothman. Mothman's within the year.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. A symbol of doom, a symbol of death.
Truly a banshee. He is an American banshee.
Yeah. So
because if you see a banshee, you're going to die. If you hear a banshee, that the banshee signals death.
Right. Yeah. So it's just really wild. And it just, so like that was where their headspace is at. That's why they all ran. They did not, like, you hide your eyes. If
someone says, I just saw the Jersey Devil, that's a death
everyone
mark.
Is like,
that's a black spot.
Yeah, it's a black spot. Everyone's like, what's going to happen? You spend the next 3 days of your life fucking scared. And then you die of a heart attack on day 3 in your 50s.
Your grandfather died of a heart attack 3 days late.
3 days after seeing the Jersey Devil in his late 50s, early 60s maybe. But yeah, no. Died 3 days after seeing the Jersey Devil. That was their lore, and that was what happened to him.
I just got chills from the tip of my toe to the top of my head.
Oh, it's a wild, when you think about all of it, like all coming together and everything, it's a wild story. It's a wild story. They had all sorts of supernatural shit happen on that farm.
I was coming in thinking like, dude, that's like I mean, everyone has a family story and everything.
Oh, for sure. And everyone's got that one ghost story or whatever. That one, like, this thing happened.
The fact that it lived up to the mythos.
And again,
Cassandra of it all.
Right? I have heard different lore about him, this is what he does, this is who he is. And I feel like a lot of people just don't know the actual lore because I think people just think that he is like almost like a Loki type. He's just here to like scare and destroy and like be chaos and like be scary. Yeah. And that's not, you're not fucking Pineys. You're not the Pineys. You don't know what you're actually talking about. There's specific lore to the Jersey Devil. Yeah. There is specific, he's not, it's like, and if he is there just to scare, like if you think you see a little of him, I think it's more of like a you look him in the eyes kind of thing. Yeah. It's like two very separate things converged and morphed. And now one is associated. This keeps on becoming a theme in my episodes, is that one thing becomes an association with another. And even though they might not have even like touched upon that in their lifetime. Oh yeah. Their name is always associated with it. So it's like the Leeds family with this mythos of this death bringer. Yeah. My heart is pitter pattering. And I'm just like, I love this shit, dude. And I honestly, the lore of it is crazy because her just being like my 13th child is going to be the devil. Yeah. My grandfather was one of 13, which is insane. My grandfather, or my great grandfather was the one who passed. So my grandfather was one of 13. Gosh. Yeah. Oh my God. My family reunions were wild. Oh, I bet. They were so big. It was ridiculous. Thank you so much for telling us your story. You're so welcome. We're going to continue yapping. Yeah, for sure. And finish up some of this wine. I'm so sorry, Desi, you're out of town. Otherwise. Yeah, we miss you. Otherwise, you would be here. But yeah. But also, we wouldn't be able to record this. But yeah, clearly I'm a plethora of stories. The Northeast is like mythical and mystical, and I've lived a lot of it, and it cuts very close to home. So definitely, if you have any other stories that come up from that way, hit a girl up. Oh my gosh. First of all, first guest on the podcast, snaps to Moriah. Yes, beautiful storytelling. Yes. We love you, girl. When she said that he died like that young of a heart attack, I about shat myself. 3 days. 3 days Can you imagine the confirmation? Like, this is what we've been told, and then it happens, and then you're like, well, it's real. Yeah. Absolutely. There's no doubt. Yeah. That confirmation bias where it's like, oh no, this is it could have been from real. The stress of thinking about it for 3 days. I don't care. It happened in 3 days. Yeah. And oh my gosh. Yeah. Was it a self-fulfilling prophecy? Who knows? But no matter what, it happened. And also like the audio phenomenon of the sound of the Jersey Devil. You know, I've had audio phenomenon experiences that, you know, were crazy like that. And there is no questioning it. Yeah. You know, like it's run. Like, yeah. Like, I think I might be too grounded or something because I don't really have any ghost stories or anything, and I'm a little too skeptic. It happens when you don't expect it, and then there's nothing to back up the skepticism. Dude, my brain literally said there needs to be a sound here, so it developed tinnitus in my ears. I don't have hearing damage. No, my brain literally just said, need sound. Need a little something. Here. But that's crazy. I mean, so, and that was recent, you know, that was not that long ago. About the 60s, could have been late 50s to early 60s. It was, yeah. That is amazing. So that's to show that the Jersey Devil has morphed, has evolved into a local harbinger of death, essentially. So it went from a possible embodiment of a deity or a take of what a deity might have looked like into the devil being born of man. Yeah. There's symbolism in that too. To political propaganda. Into
a little Loki mischief demon into a literal harbinger of death.
Yeah.
It is a magnificent story.
So complex.
We end up at our so what moment. Is the Jersey Devil real or imaginary? I can say that he's real in some aspects. Because I'm a believer of the psyche can make a lot of things real.
Yeah.
So, you know, whether it's the psyche interpreting it or the psyche actually embodying it or manifesting or something.
Right.
So, is it an oral tradition used as a cautionary tale to keep children safe from wandering too far into the barrens? That morphed into what was accidentally also adopted as political slander in the early process of American independence from British rule. So throwing in anti-monarchist and anti-monarchy, and also it's just a crazy weave of a story. And I do want to emphasize that many modern Leeds descendants take the association with like honorable good humor. Like,
that's good. They have a good outlook on it, I think.
And they even refer to the Jersey Devil as their cousin.
I love it.
And so I love that. And also, y'all got any single 30-year-old men?
Marry into the Leeds.
Come and bark up this tree, yayo. What up? No, I just want to be related to the Jersey Devil. But yeah, what's your take? What's your
I just think it's amazing that, like, you know, some people who say they don't like history. How dare you put that funny photo in front of me when I'm trying to be serious? That is a goat with wings. Oh my god.
I clicked too far.
Oh my gosh. So, like, people who say they don't like history but then go on to like these sorts of podcasts and things that talk about folklore, it's one and the same.
Yes, everything is interwoven.
Everything is interwoven. Everything is part of the story. There is a history to the lore of the Jersey Devil.
Yes,
and it's great.
That's what I was kind of touching on earlier. But where it's like, no, I love to hear this folklore. I love to hear a myth. I love to hear anything where it's like, oh, did you hear? And I want to dig deeper into what was happening culturally.
Yeah.
Significant.
Immediately, I was like, what was happening in 1909? Yeah. As soon as you said that resurged, I'm like, okay, what was going on? Like,
yeah. But also, that was early automobiles. So this guy,
somebody in the country would have been like, the fuck was that?
What was that?
It just zoomed right past me.
Whoa.
Eyes of phosphorus. Like, yeah.
Baby, you almost got hit by a car.
Yeah. Part of history being such an interdisciplinary subject is, you know, tying in folklore, myth, air quotation, gossip. And because, like you said, if it's real to somebody, it's real.
Yeah.
Whether it's real with a big T, capital truth,
we
may never know.
Yes.
But we have the story, and that itself is a chronicle of this creature.
And sometimes, like, with folklore and with myths, that's the only oral history or only history that we have. So, like, the Trojan War and everything, it's like, that's part of the quote-unquote mythology.
Yeah.
But it's also, like, seen as historical record in a way.
Yeah.
Where it's like, no, not record, but like it tells the story of an interpretation of this war.
Yeah.
Or something.
If it's all we have to go off of.
Yeah. And so it's so fun and it's so interesting.
It is. I love it. This was spooky. That story got me clutching my pearls. I love it. I'm just like, oh, he died 3 days later. Oh my god.
I've been sitting
the horror.
I've been sitting on this and like nearly vibrating because I'm like, I just can't wait to show Des.
I love it.
And then also, is this an actual photo of the Jersey Devil? And I'm like, why did you throw a goat? Why would you throw that goat?
Yeah, somebody had to yeet that goat in the air with the wings.
Because that goat is not jumping.
No.
That goat might be dead.
I don't. holding its head up, right?
I want to know what they
I feel like
did
a
to put the
dead goat
wings
would be
on there.
floppier.
I mean, when gravity.
Dog
but,
harness?
Like, when you're throwing something, it just kind of always.
Maybe.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to our lovely, lovely guest, Moriah, for telling us her wonderful story about the Jersey Devil. So tune in to our next episode where you've heard her story, but you do not know her.
I can't.
I am so thrilled.
I hope you all enjoyed this scary, spooky story of the Jersey Devil. Ha, ha, ha. 1. Two. 3. Hystorians.